When we left our heroes, they had ventured into the crypts beneath the town hall in Kanesh. They met a robe shaped like a man that looked like it had nothing in it, which, when startled, plunged the room into magical darkness. Let's rejoin the action.
That's
Uh,
uncomfortable.
Breed,
Well-
what are you going to do?
Panic.
Well, before I loose the arrow that I've been holding, drawn, and pointing at this dude, I'm going to cast light on it. Does it do anything?
Okay. You cast light on your arrow. I've got... Sorry, I've got to check something here.
If
I'm
it's
just doing
magical
some-
darkness, my cantrip level light spell probably doesn't.
Yeah, no, I was just checking that. No, it does not. You cast
Okay.
light on your arrow, and it does not light the area up at all.
I'm going to shoot it where I was aiming at anyway.
Okay, roll an attack roll with disadvantage.
I will. This one. 17.
No, that won't hit. Okay, what else we got? We've got... So Briggs cast his cantrip light, which didn't do anything, and
And
loosed an
then-
arrow.
I'm going to use my little rogue bonus action thing to run back towards the... Is it still light back in this room?
From what you can see, yes.
I'm going to run back in that direction. And when I say
Okay.
run, I mean move relatively carefully because I can't see.
As you're moving away, you hear a faint tinkling sound, like angelic music. It's really unusual and out of place. Tavern, your turn.
I am going to cast a Thorn Whip at where I remember him last being. And see if I can hit him. 11 is not going to do it.
No, 11 is not going to do it, I'm afraid. Anything else you're going to be doing with your action?
Nope. Ducking behind a coffin.
So basically ducking down where you are.
Yep.
Rogar, what will you be doing with your action?
Excuse me. I would like to attempt to dispel magic on the darkness. Is that something that's feasible?
Yes, we targeted the darkness legitimately.
Well, it just says magical effect within range.
You can attempt to dispel the magical darkness, yes.
Cool. Any spell lower, third level or lower on the target ends. For each spell of level 4th or higher on the target, make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. On a successful check, the spell ends. So I need to figure out my spellcasting ability.
It's wisdom for your clericiness.
Do I just... Is there actually a button for me to roll? with
There's
that?
an
I think
unskilled
it's just a wisdom
button.
check. Yeah, unskilled wisdom will do the job, I think.
Yeah. So it's at the bottom of the skills tab. There's just unskilled stat checks.
13?
A 13
So-
will dispel a spell of 3rd level or lower.
Oh, wouldn't I get automatically dispelled?
Yeah.
Does it,
Yeah.
it still starts from right there, though? I must have misread the spell.
No, you get 13 automatically, but you can try to roll higher than that.
Oh, yeah. No, I gotcha. I
Yes,
did
so-
misunderstand the spell. Which means that it probably did not get dispelled because it would have just been dispelled automatically.
It's awkward. You do successfully dispel the darkness. What you don't do is dispel the other thing that's going on in the area, which you're about to see.
Uh-oh.
As the darkness disappears and you can see again, the
Ignorance was
braziers
bliss.
are still lit.
It would have been a
You
brief
realize-
bliss.
A very brief bliss, about 3 seconds. You notice that out of each of the 6 coffins that were in the room, heavily armed and armored skeletal bodies are clawing their way out. 6 of them. Also, where the robes were standing, there is just now a pile of robes.
Oh no.
I hate dead things.
I hate invisible things.
So that guy there, I can get rid of him. There we go. Just a pile of robes lying on the ground in front of that stone wall that he was so intently gazing at. Anything else you'll be doing with your turn, Rogar? Still have a move action if you want to, or...
Yeah, I'll, let's see. Are these 5 feet? Are we on regular scale right now?
Yes, yeah, regular scale.
I'm actually just gonna move into melee with this guy before it starts attacking Din.
Okay. Being the righteous defender that you are. Fantastic. Harvick. All of a sudden, skeletons.
Yeah, skeletons, all of a sudden. Rogar's got Din blocked. I'm going to position myself here to try and just body block so that Tabrin can do what he does without getting interrupted. And whack this thing in the face with a quarterstaff and then kick it in the knees.
Okie dokie.
Where are my attack buttons? There they are. Quarterstaff for 22. And kick for 23 to hit.
Wow. Okay, so both of your attacks hit for a
And-
total of 8 damage.
Both of them did minimum damage.
You hit, at least. It's a big deal. Total of 8, I said, right? Yep.
Yep.
That many. Okay. So you've moved and you've used your attack actions. Din, there are undead things around.
That makes me furiously angry.
And hungry, apparently.
Oh my gosh, off tanker. It's a good idea.
Sorry. Okay. Reasoning that it is probably going to be more effective to slash at a skeleton than to poke a skeleton, I'm going to draw my scimitars and leap on this guy.
Okie dokie. So moving around to the other side of Rogar, I guess.
Yeah, however, yeah.
What will be to here? Because you can't really stand on top of a brazier. That
No.
probably not the greatest thing in the world.
That sounds painful.
Okay. So Din, you've wandered over in this direction and slashed at
And-
this guy twice.
Undead are my favorite enemy. Does that mean I get something awesome to happen?
I'm not sure how favorite enemy works in 5th, actually.
I will look it
What
up.
is it? I was
I'll get
going to
back
say,
in
where's
about-
our...
You
15
get
seconds.
bonuses to like track them and know if there's a presence of them within a certain distance.
Yeah, I have another
Okay.
thing that does that.
I don't believe
Right,
there's an
either way.
actual combat benefit.
Okay.
We will find out very, very soon.
What if you just got advantage all the time? That'd be sweet.
That would be awesome.
That
That'd
would
be
be broken.
overpowered.
You have advantage on wisdom checks to track them. You,
You can
learn a
speak their
language
language.
spoken by them if they speak it at all. Yeah, it looks like that's...
Great. I wasn't tracking them. I'm just stabbing them.
Slashing them. One of your attacks does hit,
Yay!
so roll damage.
It's in there. It's a 9.
Oh, it is in there, sorry. Yes, the first attack did hit, which was 9 damage. Fantastic. As you strike at the skeleton with the scimitars, you feel like your blows are being guided It's like... you didn't attack with the grace that you normally would attack, because, you know, you're very skilled wielding swords in two hands, but in this instance, it felt like the swords knew where they wanted to go. You just had to swing them with as much strength as you could. And you did that much damage, which brings it down to that much. Okay. Oh, it's the bad guy's turn. I do like bad guy's turn. Okay, how are we going to start off here? We're going to start off with... I'll move with them all, and then I'll attack with them all, I think. So, this guy is going to shamble to here. This guy is 1, 2, 3, 4 to here. This guy is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there. And this guy is going to 1, 2, 3, 4. Llama the tank.
Suddenly remembers he doesn't actually have armor. All right. Time to limber up and get Matrix.
Oh dear.
Wow, they moved far. I guess
Okay.
not.
No, not really. Only about 30
Not really.
feet. Okay, we'll start with the one in front of Rogar. The one in front of Rogar is going to strike at Rogar. Does a 21 hit you? I believe 21 will hit you.
Sure does.
It lashes out at you with its longsword for a total of 7 damage. Okay, green skeleton in front of Harbeck is going to roll to hit Harbeck with its longsword. And I'm going to guess a 21 hits you. Wow.
Yes, that'll do the job.
And hits you for 9 damage.
That is significant amounts of damage.
Okay. Now the 3 axe wielders. Well, a 4 doesn't hit you. Does a 14 hit you?
No.
Okay, so only one of the 3 axe swings at you actually hits. And it deals 8 damage.
Ow. Rude. Harbeck is sad.
And nope. Okay, never mind. Brig, it is your action. The lights just came back on, and you heard the fancy music.
Brieg sighs, then steps up to this corner and starts shooting arrows at all those people that are trying to murder my friend Dwarf. Specifically this one. So when I was standing by the pit earlier, did I note how deep said pit was?
You couldn't see the bottom. The light wasn't really conducive to seeing into the bottom of the pit. I mean, the braziers are lighting upwards, but it did seem quite deep.
It seems to me like if it is a choice, putting the skeletons in the pit would be a good plan. I am going to shoot this guy here, standing at the edge of the pit with a short bow.
Yeah, the green one.
This one.
A 15.
15.
What does blue mean?
Blue means one of them was maxed, I
Oh.
think.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a 6 plus something.
Plus sneak attack damage because it's standing next to my friend, and I like to shoot skeletons right in the eye hole when they stand next to my friends.
Especially your dwarven friend. A 15, however, will ping off of the thing's shield. And you will do no damage.
Then I'm going to notice that this guy is distressingly close to me, and I'm going to pull out my daggers in preparation for him to approach. My new fancy
worries.
magic daggers.
Your new fancy magic dagger. Oh, that's right. You've got the fancy fighting daggers. Tabrin, what would you like to do with your action, sir?
I am going to Misty Step as a bonus action. And
That's a teleporty thing, yeah?
a teleporty thing. Let's go ahead and move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That looks good. And then I will Thorn Whip this axe wielding skeleton there.
Yep.
A 21 to hit.
21 will certainly hit.
He takes 6 damage, and I pull the target 10 feet closer to me.
You certainly do. 5, 10. Wah! Well, it doesn't scream, it's a skeleton, but you do see it disappear
No
from
vocal
sight as
cords.
it falls. No vocal cords. No muscles at all, actually. How do they animate? It's
They
falling
click.
down the pit. Yeah.
Like a magic rope.
They fall down, it falls down the pit. And in the immediate future, like during the rest of this turn, you don't hear the clatter of bones and steel as it hits the ground.
That's a pit.
Good to know.
Now you just need to know the terminal velocity of a laden African skeleton, and
It's possible that if we don't hear it in 6 seconds, it will be too far away for us to hear it at all. So,
terminal velocity, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do some math. Let's not do some math.
That's too
Rogar.
deep.
Rogar. There is a undead skeleton thing standing in front of you.
Skeletons, in my experience, are fairly susceptible to giant warhammers. So I'm taking a crack at that.
Yeah, I think technically they're allergic.
How does a 13 do?
Unfortunately, a 13 glances off the skeleton shield.
Well, it would have
These-
been some awful damage anyway. My good move of the night now so far is probably the Dispel Magic, and the rest of my attacks will end up being terrible.
That Dispel Magic could prove to be the turning point. Harbeck, did you want to do anything else? Sorry. Rogar there?
No,
anything else you wanted to do?
I'm good. Like,
Okay.
that's my bag at this point.
No worries. Harbeck.
I can take a step back without
Yes.
provoking
5-foot step.
attacks and things. Good. Harbeck breathes into his hands and ignites a small flame.
Why are you doing that thing you
And rolls minimum damage again.
Can you start rolling minimum damage on your damage dice?
But I light the coffin on fire.
You will light the coffin on fire. That's very, very true.
So these three in front of me should all make a dexterity
save. Which is DC 14. First axe passes, second axe passes, green guy does not.
Hey! Damage. So 4, 4, and 8.
Yes. Okay. Fantastic.
And then I will spend
yep.
one more point of key to take the dodge action. Anything attacking me has disadvantage next turn.
Which has proved to be very useful so far in this campaign.
Yeah, especially since I have 3 of them. I'm going to go ahead and not get hit, I hope.
Let's continue to hope. Din, what would you like to do with your action?
I'm going to assume that Harbeck cried out with enough agony that I assume he is mortally wounded. And I'm going to cast a little Cure Wounds on him.
Okie dokie.
And he's going to get 6 points back.
Have your
Nice.
6 hit points. Harbeck,
Thanks.
have your 6 hit points. Okay. Back to bad guys. That one, I can do that. Okay, so bad guys. Once again, we're going to move them all, and then I will take their actions. These three are going to step in and poke the pudgy dwarf.
No, they're not. He's very,
And they're going to
very
try.
agile for a pudgy dwarf.
And that's going to step up to there. Okay, let's go from for attacks from the bottom to the top. Where is that roll that I need to make? It's that one. Brig, 7 is not going to hit you, I would imagine.
It is not.
Okay. He lashes out with his axe, and you deftly dodge aside, and feel good about yourself for dodging the scary skeleton with the axe. Next is the green one. It's going to attack Rogar. Oh dear. Oh, yeah. I'm glad I don't play with exploding criticals. Natural 20, natural 20. So I hit you. I hit you a lot. I hit you for 16 points of damage. He manages to slip past your guard with his long sword and sticks it quite squarely into your belly. It is uncomfortable.
You're big, right? You have a lot of meat.
Well, I am certainly not dead, but or unconscious, but I am hurting.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's still a
Ow.
cleric. He might be quite large and wearing a lot of armor. He's still a cleric.
I'm suddenly
Yeah, I
really
usually
glad 3 of
rely
them
on
are
not
fighting
getting
me.
hit. So I've got like 18 AC.
Yeah. But double natural 20 will do that to you. Next we've got next we have green skeleton number 1 against llama.
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage, so I need to roll twice. A 5 will miss.
Yes.
Red skeleton number 1. 15.
Miss.
Okay, red skeleton number 2. 19.
With disadvantage, 19?
Yeah, 22, 19 is what I rolled.
Rude. All right.
And you take... Where's that dice roll? There it is. 8 points of damage. Okay. And then... I need to do this one. Nope. Okay. Brig, your turn.
I'm going to stab this thing with some dual wieldy daggers.
Okay. You may add sneak attack damage.
Yeah,
Because
it was
Rogar
nice of
is
it to step
flanking.
up next to Rogar. Great. Well,
22 will hit.
and then I only get to do sneak attack damage once, and I don't get to add my stat modifier to my offhand. So I'm going to do 0 damage because I'm pretty sure it resists piercing.
First one was good, though.
Yeah,
First one was good.
Unless these-
Okay.
unless these daggers are in fact magic, because I haven't put any of that in yet. Because we don't know what they do.
Yeah. Okay, so do me a favor and roll me 2d6.
Hmm.
8.
8.
Okay. So as you poke this thing, which is relatively inefficient, stabbing at a skeleton, there's lots of holes in them already. They don't tend to mind them. The daggers spark to life in your hand, and spark is the operative word, because as your dagger makes contact with bone, you feel the release of an electrical shockwave that blasts the skeleton, dealing a total of 8 extra damage, which means that... Yep, the skeleton is blown apart.
Whoa.
Blown into small bone fragments as you go poke.
Well, that'll do.
And once again, Brig underestimated himself. He's so
Brig-
timid, and he's just this.
Briga keeps turning out to be kind of a beast in combat.
Yeah.
Poke.
Oh no, I
Poke.
did no damage.
Oh, I didn't mean to jog him so hard, Inigo.
So yeah, that skeleton has completely and utterly exploded. And with the brilliant flash of light that you see as the skeleton explodes into small bone fragments, for the third time this afternoon, you've experienced this. It's hard to explain. Something happens and it blows your mind.
So everybody probably, assumes that I'm, my daggers just turned out to be all electrically charged and stuff. But after I stab him, I stop and I stare at them like really worriedly for a second and study these daggers very closely before
Tavern.
shaking my head and getting back into it.
Did Harbeck get hit at all on his last
Yes.
go around? You did?
Yep.
Okay. Tabarin yells out and says, Harbeck, back up. Or, move
Okay.
to your right. And then I will delay my turn till after Harbeck.
Okay. Rogar. Our big meaty dragonkin.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide between healing and attacking.
It's like,
I think I gotta go for the attack.
It's clobbering
What are
time.
How's a 22?
22 will hit
Got your feet
With a
back
res-
under you.
with a resounding thud. For 9 bludgeoning.
Indeed.
Okay. You hit it very, very hard, and it sort of stumbles back slightly, almost going over the edge of the precipice, but then resumes its attack on you. Harbeck.
All right. In one swift motion, Harbeck sidesteps to the right, as per his instructions, swings his quarterstaff around from the position where he had just been standing like a baseball bat, and kicks with his leg, trying to sweep the skeleton. So we're going to do our regular series of attacks. Quarterstaff. Kick. 13 damage on that green one. If 18s and 22s hit.
18s and 22s do hit. So how much did you hit for then? A total
13 total.
of 13. Okay.
It's quite
With
a
a
bit better than
resounding...
your standard 8.
Yeah, a little bit better. A snapping bone as you kick out its legs, and then a thwack with the quarterstaff across the back of its head, and its skull comes tumbling off, and it falls into a pile of bones.
Good. One more dodge action, as last time. I'm ready for these two. They're not going to kill me right now.
Okay.
Um,
And I'm going to knock it back there.
the first thing that Tabarin does is takes his bonus action and calling upon his clerical knowledge, he casts a healing word on Rogar by conjuring a hypodermic needle that streaks towards the target, injecting him with healing energy for 5 hit points.
Assuming he's not terrified of ducks.
I'm under attack! That's right!
Hell is that?
For a brief moment, Harbeck wonders, how did Tabarin get hold of one of my darts?
Why is he using it on?
as it thuds into his neck and heals him for 5 hit points.
And
then
then-
we'll be...
That was my bonus action.
Oh, right, yeah, you can do that as a bonus.
And then, centered on that point, I am casting Shatter. So, a saving throw, DC 16.
Constitution based, right? Yeah.
Yeah, on both of those.
Okay. First one, so the one closest to you, a 12 is a fail, a 13 is a fail. They both take 13 points of thunder damage. With a resounding clap of thunder, both of the skeletons are rocked by a shockwave. And they're looking a lot worse for the wear, but still standing. Still standing, and they implacably march towards their target.
Across the fiery coffin, if that matters.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
They just step over it.
I'm gonna
And
reach out and heal Rogar.
oh, sorry, it was Din's turn. I skipped past you. Sorry, Din.
That's okay. I'm just gonna sneak it in there. For not very much. Sorry, man.
Rogar, have some hit points back.
Yeah, a couple.
3 of them. Okay.
Every little bit helps.
Bad guy's turn. And first attack,
With disadvantage.
disadvantage. 11 misses. Second attack, oh, I miss. Aw, I rolled a natural 20. Why? Why would
Yay,
you do this?
disadvantage.
The Matrix!
You nimbly dodge out of the way of 2 clumsy axe swings from the 2 skeleton warriors. And then there's one more roll I have to make. Oh dear. Oh dear. Tabern, can I have a will save, please?
I recommend making this.
When the will save starts with oh dear, that's the one to roll well.
So wisdom-based saving throw for Tabern.
Did he die? Did he get disconnected?
No, he's still there. I see him moving ever so slightly. Tabern.
Say again? I'm after Harbeck now.
You're being
You
attacked.
have to make a save.
You're being attacked. You may need to make a will save.
Oh,
A wisdom-based saving
my
throw.
bad. I ain't paying attention. I probably fail.
Don't do that.
Wisdom saving throw. Here we go. 16.
Solid. Solid enough.
No. Unfortunately not. You feel a dark presence. It's like you're being infected by fear. And as you stand there almost frozen, paralyzed in place, your arms and legs begin to move without you moving them.
It's a good thing I'm out of spells.
I'm afraid you're about to throw yourself into that exceedingly deep pit.
That could happen.
Can I get perception checks from the rest of the party, please? Yeah. Although I think only one of them is going to matter.
Is it the one with
No,
the magic
no, you
rope?
can't have perception checks.
I have a magic rope.
Unfortunately, the rope isn't magic.
No. You cannot convince me that my rope is not magic.
Okay, Rogar.
When you throw it in the pit, maybe you'll realize.
Rogar is too busy fighting the skeleton and hoping he doesn't die. Harbeck is too busy fighting his 2 skeletons and hoping he doesn't die. Brieg is fascinated by the daggers.
And wiping bits of skull off of himself.
Yeah, there's that too. Din, something's wrong with Tabern.
Tabern.
He just like he froze. His
Is he-
like cocky swagger and combat demeanor just stopped.
Is he walking towards that pit?
And he started to take a step forward, and his movements seem clunky and slow, almost like he's trying to fight against himself.
Okay.
It's really weird. I don't know how Din's going to perceive that, but that's what's going on. Brieg, it's your turn.
Well,
Also, we've gone way over the 1 hour mark, but we can't really stop mid-combat.
Yeah.
let's see how these daggers throw. I'm going to chuck one at each of these axie skeletons because then I can be more confident that they aren't going to accidentally go in the pit.
Which one are you going to use sneak attack damage on?
They both got shattered. Neither of them have been hit outside of that, right?
Yep.
Yep.
So we'll main hand that one, offhand this one, and I can only deal sneak attack damage once a turn. So I guess whichever one of those hits will get sneak attacked. So that's the main hand will hit, and that has the sneak attack damage in it. That's the one by the wall.
Yep.
20.
Yep.
And the offhand this one.
20.
That offhand is strong.
Why do you just...
Does it need some extra damage?
Yeah, you need to roll a d6 for each of them. Just roll 2d6 and we'll take the first number for the first attack, second number for the second attack. And you can modify the daggers in your combat profile if you want.
Great.
Uh,
So 5 extra shocking damage to the one that did not get snuck attack.
Okay.
And 1 for the other one.
Harbeck, you hear 2 daggers go whistling past your ears with incredible precision, lodging firmly in the skulls of the 2 skeletons. The first skeleton, the skeleton closest to the wall, explodes in a shower of charred skull and bone and explodey bony bits. You'll be brushing bone dust out of your hair for weeks.
Perfect.
But is deceased. Skeleton number 2 has been hit, and there's a shiny dagger sticking out of its forehead, but it continues to stand.
Oh, I was really hoping that the 5 shock would be enough.
Not quite, I'm afraid. Tabern.
I'm
Tabard.
after Harbeck.
All right, you moved down the order, didn't you? Let me change you to a 15. Okay. Resort. Rogar. Rogar, what would you like to do with your action?
Let's see if I can finish this guy off. Let's do some more bludgeoning damage. 13 does not hit, does it?
I am afraid not. You swing your warhammer at it. Once again, it blocks it with the shield. Harbeck.
Oh, I was hoping that both of these would go down and I'd have another chance to notice Tabarin. But that does not appear to be the case. So I am going to unload the quarterstaff kick combo on the last standing skeleton that's threatening me. Quarterstaff, 9 to hit. Kick, 11 to hit.
9 and 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, you miss both attacks.
I
I'm afraid to
figured.
say you miss both attacks there. Okay. Sorry, bear with me. I'm
Saving
just gonna
throw?
pull up some reference material here.
I think if an effect... Oh, that was... In 4th edition, if an effect put you in danger, you got a saving throw when the danger happened.
I'm just wondering if the spell has where I get to save at the end of each of my turns. And maybe
Yeah.
it moves me on its turn? I don't know.
I just have to check something. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I have the note here somewhere. Too much information. Too many things.
So after I toss those daggers and I hold my hands out expectantly for them to return to them, they don't, do they?
No.
That's unfortunate.
Boomerang daggers.
Well, you know, they're magic. Maybe they've got the
It was thoughtful. Can I get a will saving throw, please, Tabern?
Yes. 18.
An 18.
I don't want to go in the pit.
And roll a second time for me, please.
8.
Okay.
Okay. You had advantage on the roll. As the voice recoils as you struggle against it. But you take another step forward. And you are teetering on the brink.
Good.
Din,
Okay.
Tavern
Are you
is
ready for
getting
this?
very close to the edge.
Yeah, he's freaking me out. I'm gonna throw some caltrops at him because that's what I have. So
Hope he trips backwards.
he's gonna have to. Well, here's what it is. He has to beat a DC 15 Dex, or he is stopped and he takes 1 piercing damage. And he's also
Okay.
going to be slowed by 10 feet. So
I'll get
hopefully
you.
he's going to get stuck in my caltrops that I'm about to throw at him.
I'm going to get you to roll a ranged touch attack, so just a base attack plus dex. So like your standard bow attack, I think will do the job.
Okay.
As I don't think you have any additional modifiers to that.
No.
24. Yeah, you throw them with startling precision. You throw them at the soles of his feet as he takes a step forward, and the caltrops land in that appropriate square. So you need to make that saving throw, please, Tavern.
Dex saving throw. It's a good thing that's one of my worst.
Nice.
That's the kind of failed save we like.
Yay, natural one.
So you're going to take 1 piercing damage
Take 1 point of damage, and you are
and don't move.
stopped.
It's a good thing he's not a halfling.
This is true. Yeah.
But that dex save might be bad enough you like fall down in the caltrops and take several piercing damage.
That's
How
not
potent.
into a pit.
Yes.
It's certainly a better idea than falling into a pit.
Okay, green skeleton. Green skeleton attacks Rogar. 9 will miss. Red skeleton is going to attack Harbeck. Did you dodge this turn?
I'm out of key.
You're out of
Harbeck
key.
is visibly exhausted.
Okay, I have some terrible news for you. The reason I asked is because I rolled a natural 20.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so I do not confirm the critical.
I was not using those hit points anyway. It's fine.
I only get to roll standard damage. Which is 5 points of choppy damage.
Ow.
Yep. As the axe thunks into your shoulder, and you feel the searing pain of cold, dead steel. Brig.
Well, I checked my fancy new daggers, so I guess I will maybe do something about Tabarin.
By this stage, it's been about 6 to 12 seconds, and Tabarin has not been participating in the fight at all, and has been slowly inching his way forward towards the cliff face.
Well,
or
and
I
above
just
the-
threw caltrops at
Yeah,
him.
I assume that Din would only throw caltrops at someone if she noticed something was amiss. So I'm guessing that caught my attention. I can't
Yeah.
be sure about that. Maybe
Whoa,
she
whoa,
just
whoa,
think
whoa,
that it's
whoa.
customary when you're fighting skeletons in a pit to throw caltrops. I don't know.
You are talking about someone whose first reaction when given an ear was to hand it to her wolf to eat it. We're outside of the realm of expected behavior.
I forgot to mention that I screamed something like, Tabarin, no! And then threw caltrops at him.
All right. Motive clear.
So I'm going to move plus more extra rogue move over here, and then I
Yep.
will mage hand a rope around Tabarin, and using all of my 40 pounds
and immense halfling strength.
hey, I'm a relatively strong little gnome. I have 14 strength, but I'll try to pull him back away from the pit.
Big statue
Okay.
behind you. You could just tie him off.
Well,
That
I'm
would
not sure
probably
that I can
take a
do
little
that
bit longer.
in 6 seconds. It's,
Yeah, that's a bit,
I see.
probably a bit much. He's just managed to snake the rope around his waist and grab both ends, basically. This could be amusing. Rogar. Rogar, it is your action.
Alright. Sounds like a good time to Warhammer. 25!
that's
And 7 bludgeoning damage. You boop the skeleton on the head, boop, and it crumbles into a pile of bones.
That's how you don't
pooping.
get bone dust everywhere.
I only know how to kill skeletons by making them explode.
Apparently.
I put daggers in their head, and they blow up. That's how it works.
It's efficient, I guess, I suppose.
I love the
Rogar-
mental image, though. Of the tiny little daggers, and they explode, and then the giant warhammer from the 7-foot dragonkin, like...
Crumbles neatly.
Controlled demolition.
Basically. Anything else you'd like to do with your actions, Rogar?
I might need some help.
Am I quick enough inside of this to be able to see what's happening over there?
Yes. By this stage, as you boop it, you notice that there is a halfling that looks to be trying to stop a human from falling over a cliff.
Then I will attempt to move in that direction.
Okay. Harbeck.
Din, you got the skeleton. I leave the skeleton to Din's capable hands, and I'm going to make an athletics check to leap across this pit and tackle Tabarin.
Oh dear.
That wasn't very good.
Oh dear. I hope you have some more magic rope.
Rogar probably should have tossed you. How big's that gap?
Nobody
feet?
tosses
10
at the
feet.
board.
12
feet-ish?
12, yeah, probably 12 feet from that square to that square to try and tackle. What'd you
Don't
roll,
you
a
have-
12?
Don't you have some
10
like
foot-
fancy monk I can jump forever thing?
I'm out of key.
Oh,
I do have that, and I was planning on using it, and then I just got the idea of jumping stuck in my head, and I was too tired to have.
I've got this, and then he tries to channel his non-existent key and falls down.
I
Ruh-roh.
got
Not
it, I
that
got
I'm-
it. I don't got it.
Not that I'm worried that you're going to fall into the, bottomless pit of despair, but don't you have like a Red Bull?
I do. I was considering about whether it would be time to use that. So Harbeck realizes that his inner reserves are spent and says, well, bottoms up. I don't actually know what this thing does, but I hope it does something. Chug, 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 chug.
Okay.
Hope it gives you
Roll an
wings.
athletics check.
Okay. That was better.
Fortunately, as you run towards the pit, you feel energized. Full of beans, in fact. And you leap across the pit with relative ease.
if that's a key point, I can actually do a thing. With
It's
being
not a
monk.
key point.
Okay.
It's just advantage on athletics-based checks.
Okay.
But you jump across the pit, and you're like, yes, I'm going to make it. It's going to be super easy. And you realize you're not quite as easily getting across, but you do manage to make it across. And you're going to try and grapple with Tabarin. You're basically throwing yourself at the human, right?
Yeah, the goal is a tackle, so he can stop moving forward.
Can I have an opposed strength check, please?
Sure.
And this is almost certainly not going to fail, because Tabarin, you have disadvantage, and Lama, you have advantage.
Oh no!
I have disadvantage with my -1 modifier, so
So the 6 might still win.
All right.
Nope.
So good at this.
Can he roll
Okay.
his velocity instead of his strength?
I do weigh like 250 pounds, if that matters.
This is where, like, physics versus game mechanics comes into play. I have to make the decision. I'm going to find it a lot more amusing. As you thump into him, he seems almost heavier, like he's weighed down by the presence of another being. And you find yourself precariously perched on the edge of a cliff. As in tippy toes. Edge of a cliff. You didn't
Okay.
manage to knock him over.
Sheesh.
You now have 2 people teetering on the edge of a cliff. One of them has just thrown themselves across it. Tabarin, a will saving throw, please.
I'm I'm confident that my 40 pounds can hold their 400. I got this.
Oh god.
It's okay. You have static friction with the ground. It's totally fine. You see surface area on your feet more than weight.
I wear like child size 4.
Oh, you're a gnome, not a halfling.
Yeah.
Sit down, quick!
Tabern. The being that is sharing your mind recoils once again, and you feel its presence vanish, fade away. You feel in control again, and there is a dwarf teetering on the edge. You know, like those old cartoons. You know, standing on his tippy toes right on the edge, waving his arms in circles, trying to maintain his balance. It's an amusing sight, but a precarious situation for your friendly brewer dwarf. What would you like to do with your actions?
I believe the first response after he comes to is, "What the?" And I will grab Harbeck and pull him away from the pit.
Not the beard! Yeah!
Okay. And just a strength check from you, please.
Good luck.
He's not a light dwarf.
Oh, come on! He's giving us every opportunity for me not to die here, and we are not having it.
Never mind.
Does my 40 pounds pulling on that rope give him advantage on that strength check?
No. 40 extra pounds isn't going to really help too much.
What if I
grab a
save
handful? You grab a handful of glorious dwarf beard and tug hard, but you can't seem to pull the extra weight, and you are stuck in an invisible tug-of-war with gravity, and Harbeck is the rope. His situation has not really improved, and now he is having his beard tugged, which as a bearded man I can tell you is not a pleasant experience. Din, it is your action.
I have been left to deal with this skeleton, so I guess I will deal with it.
Attack number 1 is a hit. Attack number 2 is a hit for a total of lots. As the two scimitars collide with the skeleton's bones, there is a brilliant, blinding flash of light.
Ooh.
And the skeleton vaporizes
I need
into
fire.
even smaller pieces than when Brieg threw daggers at them. Like a fine, powdery dust.
Great. I wish that I
Vaporizes.
had... Oh, okay, well, that takes care of that. Now I have to hope that someone can save my dwarf friend, since there are 3 of them over there. They should be able to work this out. He tried to throw himself in a pit.
I was trying to... It's fine.
Okay, so there's like a big statue with a altar thing in front of it. Is the altar thing affixed to the stone? Like, is it built into the floor?
I'll answer that question in just a second. Harbeck, can I have a will save, please?
Oh,
There's still
no.
a bad guy.
Remember when there was an invisible thing?
That was that moment when I wanted the enemy's turn
Boom!
to just not.
You were trying to sneak it past me. I saw what you were doing. I saw. I'm omniscient as the GM. 21. You feel a creeping chill spread through your mind like dark tendrils worming their way into your head. But your monkish training and meditative training allows you to close your mind to such invasion. And you manage to steady yourself and center yourself and not be overcome. Brieg, now, you were talking about statues.
So the like blue altar thing in front of the statue, is that built into the stonework? Like, is that affixed to the ground sturdily?
The big statue thing, or the
altar in
The
front
altar.
of it is what I was asking about.
the altar in front of it is a large slab of stone.
Okay.
So yes.
That will weigh considerably more than me. So holding the 2 ends of the rope, I'm going to kind of like run my hands down it so that I can wedge myself behind here because I know that I'm strong. It's my weight that is causing a problem. So I'm going to wedge myself behind that big piece of rock and then tell Tabarin to get a hold of the dwarf so I can try to pull them back here.
Okay. And I will allow you a strength check to try and drag them both. Which isn't going to be easy, but maybe
Tabarin
you'll...
tries to hold up Harbeck's beard and says, I do have a hold of it.
If I have the
Okay.
presence of mind, I'll grab an elbow to take some of the pressure off my chin.
Oh. My 14 strength is insufficient, I'm guessing.
Your 14 strength is insufficient. In this circumstance, Rogar, it is your turn, sir.
So, based on movement, I don't know how diagonal movement works, because it kind of feels like cheating as far as I can move.
It's... I just treat it as a 5-foot square. Because if you start using
It gets too
2.5, 7
complicated.
point, it just gets too complicated. Yes, moving diagonally, you move faster, but... whatever.
Okay,
You're
so
in a
what I'm
hurry.
looking at is from here, 1 square, 2 square. It doesn't really do it how I want.
If you take a diagonal onto the brazier and then another diagonal back, you can make it in 25.
Yeah.
Because circles are squares in D&D.
Yep.
Right, so basically I should be able to make it to them no problem. Is what
Well,
I'm
just
saying. Or
barely.
do I need to go all the way around? Or
No, that's fine. You can...
Okay. Do I need a strength check to keep all of these people from falling into pits?
I think that would be wise, yes. I think you should definitely grab a handful of whatever you can grab a handful of and attempt to drag them off the edge of this precipice.
Just an unskilled strength check, or
Yes, please.
do I get lucky and it gets to be an athletics check?
Actually, I was going to say, you can probably go with an athletics check.
That is pretty sweet. How's an 18?
An 18. Okay, you manage to grab both of them and drag them ever so slightly away from the edge. Enough so that they are no longer teetering. And in a much safer position, along with the help of the halfling who's, been anchoring them with his rope.
And you hear the gnome's butt hit the ground as the tension in the rope releases.
Thump. And you're now all off the... Well, you're still on the edge of the cliff, but you're no longer precariously perched on the edge of the cliff about to fall to your deaths. Harbeck, what would you like to do with your action?
It's still here. Whatever, and the cloak. And I'll tell people that it's still here because it attacked my brain, but I have no idea how you deal with an invisible enemy at this point. So, I will step away from the edge to make it hard for that thing to possess me into the edge, and just get, over here and say, get away from the pet! Back up!
Okay.
And that's
Tabarin.
the turn.
I will move to here and yell out, because it seemed to have been working in my head. Drudanash will smite you, will smite you, and then I am going to use my Arcana skill to try and locate a source of magical energy in the room.
Okay, roll an Arcana check for me.
23?
Nice.
23. There's definitely some magical effects going on, but it's very hard to pinpoint them. That you can't... Maybe if you could cast a detect magic spell, you'd be able to locate the source of where all this magic is coming from. But at this point, you can't. You can't locate it.
At this point, I will just have to... What?
The caltrops aren't going to be an issue. They're basically out of combat, and it's they're not actively engaged with anything. The reason the caltrops worked efficiently in the first place was because of Tabarin's brain being overpowered. So
Alright, I'm just going to finish my double move. 1, 2, 3, 4. To over here.
Okay. Din.
Is this coffin still on fire?
It burns out really quickly. It's old, like, molded wood. The fire sort of petered out
Okay.
almost as quickly as it started.
Then nobody looks to be in immediate danger. I'm gonna back out of the room away from the pit.
Okay. All right.
Oh wait, this brazier has fire in it.
The brazier does have fire in it, that's very true. You hear something. Perception checks from everybody, please.
I'm so good at these.
Really? I'm not usually.
That's a lie.
Oh, hey.
0, 1.
I win D&D. To be fair, I am like 4 feet tall, and I've fallen behind this big stone slab back there.
Break is just a different kind of broken.
You're so good at these.
Oh dear. Oh god. You broke your DM. Din and Tabarin, you guys hear... Tabarin, you in particular, because this is something that it's recognizable. You hear whispers in the echoing stone underground chamber. It's very hard to pinpoint where they're coming from, but you can definitely hear whispers again, arcane whispers. And because we've been going forever and ever and missed our break by 45 minutes, I'm going to say we're going to have a break here, because there is a bit of a lull at the moment. So we're going to have a quick break.
Right.
So, refill waters and all of the rest of that nonsense. I'm going to make myself another coffee so that we can continue on. And then we can do a recap, because we've been
Yeah.
going way too long.